Hi there, you're watching the Gardens and Graveyards channel. My name is Charisma, and today we are hanging out in the garden and we're going to power wash some more spaces. So today we're just focusing on sidewalks. I have this sidewalk behind me. It goes from one back deck to the other back deck, and then right over this way I have some pavers that connects over to that sidewalk, which I started in our first power washing video, but today I'm going to finish it because it's dry and I could see where I've missed some spaces. And then we have a sidewalk out front that leads to our front entryway, also pretty short and narrow, but needs to be cleaned off, and one stair. So it's not a whole lot involved, but I expect it's going to be a little bit time consuming because you could see all that green is all moss growing on the sidewalk. That's just one of the things that you have to deal with when you're living in the Pacific Northwest. It is very green and it is very wet, and that means that there is greenery growing on everything. So let's get this washed off. And I did want to mention that the power washing on the sidewalks is beneficial because it saves our concrete for a little while longer, and it makes sure that it's not slippery and gross in the wintertime, which it can tend to be. I did not power wash this last year at all. We were just really busy in the spring, and then the fall got away from me and the rains came and I didn't have a chance. So this year I'm doing it in the spring. I like to do it in the fall because that's right before the rainy season hits, but I'm totally happy to do it in the spring because I don't want it to look like this all summer long when I'm out here hanging out. So let's get this underway today. As a reminder, we are just using a gas-powered power washer, and it has multiple heads that can, it's for soap or general or maximum. And on the sidewalks, I've been using the maximum head. It creates a lot more pressure per square inch. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. The hose, our garden hose, just hooks up to it, and then it has a hose that goes to the power washer wand here. Pretty simple. So here's the sidewalk outside of the garage, and you can see where I kind of stopped, and I need to remove some of the pine duff debris and clean it up a little bit more and just give it a little once over now that it's not all full of water and mud. And then we'll move into the pavers, which you could clearly see where the power washer came across it. How it does this, it's just peeling off all of this mossy stuff. And then over this side we've got this horrible side. You can see this gray flaky stuff. That is also moss that when it's really wet, that also greens up. It's been kind of drying up over the last week with warmer weather. But this is the east facing wall of our home, and it stays pretty cool over here. It gets a little bit of morning sun, but that's about it, and then it goes into shade, so it doesn't have a lot of opportunity to dry out. And then I am going to go ahead and just do a once over on the concrete patio that we made there, just to make sure it's all nice and clean. So this is the one stair and sidewalk leading from our front deck that needs to get power washed. You can see we lined this sidewalk with some pavers. They will also get cleaned up with the power washer. And you know, we do need to come out and weed, but that's not a priority today. This kind of stuff will get knocked out of those concrete, what are those lines? Concrete lines. They prevent cracking. These things.
I don't know.
They called something?
There is a term for relief lines.
Proper term that we don't know because we're not concrete people.
Relief lines.
Relief line. Anyway, this is the before of this space. I'm gonna go see the staircase a little bit better that way. Yeah. This staircase gets very mossy because it's in shade all the time. Even when it's, you know, full summertime, this gets shaded by either this tree or this tree. It's all clean now. Of course, there's some small details to work out, and the porch still has to be done, but the backyard cement is clean. All right, so now we're in the front yard on the front sidewalk, and the worst part is up here close to the deck because that stays the most shadiest. Most shadiest? Is that a word? And then we've got this area. I pulled the Lithadora off the sidewalk. You could see it's just folded over. The rest of it just lays down. We're just pushing it up there. Just for the cleaning, and then we'll put it back. All right, so the backyard actually took about 2.5 hours and 2.5 gas tanks. And then we're gonna get this front one done, and I'll let you know how long that takes, but I suspect it's gonna be way faster because it's cleaner. It's in a lot more sun, so there's not a bunch of moss or anything growing. It's just dirty. So it should go pretty quickly. Okay, so I worked for almost an hour. I think it was 50 minutes. I did not get done. You can see where I left off and then just kind of got rid of the muddy mess for the evening. It's getting really cold. It's getting like dark skies. Not sure if it's gonna start raining, but I'm already soaking wet. And so, like, muddy and soaking wet. So I want to go inside and take a hot shower, and we'll finish this project tomorrow. This is what the staircase looks like after one pass, which is pretty fantastic compared to what it was. And then down this way, and that's where I left off, I did put my Lithadora back over the sidewalk. We did get just past the Lithadora all cleaned, so I don't have to mess with her too much tomorrow. And then we'll finish and do another pass over this area just to make sure it's all good and clean. But you can see where like just started to get tired, or it's all stripy there. And then the rest of all the scribbling really is just about trying to get the mud off, because I didn't want it to just sit there all night. And into the next day, because I'll probably be doing it later in the afternoon after work tomorrow. So anyway, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Hello, it's day 2 of power washing and we're all done. I finished the last portion of the front walkway, and then I power washed my 4 big giant cement pots. And they're not perfect. They need to be painted. They're probably, well, they're well over 20 years old, and I don't do anything to really maintain them except that taking all that moss off there just, you know, probably gives it a few more years of good use. I go back and forth on wanting to paint them. I can't decide on an actual color that I want. And then I wonder if I should try staining them with cement stain. And then I just leave them as is. I kind of like the patina look, and I actually really like the moss growing on it, but after so many years of moss growing on it, you gotta knock that moss off. And I mean, I know it'll just come back because it's, all the spores are still inside the grooves of the container because it's very porous. But you know, it's not actively growing right now, and come this winter we'll have moss on there again and it'll have that charming effect. But for right now, just knowing that they're clean sometimes is just satisfying, I guess. So I'm going to turn the camera around and show you what we got done today. All right, so the first portion of this project, well, the very first portion was in the backyard, but this sidewalk, we did all of this to here. And then today I just finished up this area, finished up these bricks, and then I washed off all of the moss off of these. And you can see some of the black coloration gets much cleaner in some opposed to others. What I'm noticing is the sides that get the most sun seem to get the most blackened color. I'm not sure what that's about. Or this one's just like the worst one in general. And then we have two down here. So you can see this is where the sun comes. There's a big black spot. But then where it's shady, it's not as bad. Well, I don't know what that's about exactly. It's like maybe the moss actually protects this stuff. And then we have this one. Whatever. They're all clean. That's what matters. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you're enjoying our power washing series. The next part of this project, step out of the sun. The next part of this power washing project is going to be our 3 wood decks. And all that I'm trying to show you is the difference between power washing, like we power washed our garage. The siding on our garage is wood. And then of course the doors are fiberglass. Then today we worked on cement, the cement pots, the cement sidewalks, the cement pavers, and the next time we're going to do wood decks. All of our decks are pressure treated decking material, wood. So we'll see, you know, we'll do that kind of material. And then the last thing we're going to do is the actual house, which is aluminum. It is a manufactured home from 1979. So, yeah, I hope you're enjoying it, and I hope you have a chance to celebrate your life today. And we will see you in the next video. Bye.